We march ahead.
Close ranks. You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Into the fray! You're irrelevant.
Begone, fiend!
We shall overcome!
You won't survive me.
No glory without risk!
Retreat is not an option.
Mind over muscle!
Fall!
Both is fading.
Endure this!
The light take you!
Kneel before me.
I stand ready. I will not falter. Our path leads on.
Together we stand!
Tell me, and I'll do it. Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge.
Oh, yes, what?
Esmith, Axel, yes. Esmith, Axel, yes.
Search for the beauty with your heart, not your eyes.
Are we ready to move out?
I will guide us.
Can't hide from me.
Without a doubt.
team.
Make every strike count.
Do not hold back!
I will bring down the divine wrath!
This one's mine!
Into the fray!
Our team.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel!
Strike as one! Attack!
Call me again if you need to.
I'll remove this obstacle.
You won't survive me.
We shall overcome!
Press the attack.
A bright future awaits us. This was simple enough. This was simple enough.
Forget it. Forget it. The mongrel did it!
The scatter remains as sickening to look upon. The ghouls clearly ate their fill. Fortunately, they were not interested in the jewelry left on the bodies.
Our path leads on.
Yet another obstacle.
Attack!
You should have listened to reason.
Magnifico, Turio.
The light take you!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
We shall overcome.
No glory without risk!
Retreat is not an option.
Mind over muscle.
Begone, fiend!
You won't survive me.
Do not hold back.
Into the fray!
Kneel before me.
I'll remove this obstacle.
Fall!
Endure this!
They will break against our resolve.
Strike as one.
This one's mine!
I will bring down the divine wrath!
The light take you!
Make every strike count.
Nice try. Didn't work though.
Attack!
Press the attack.
No glory without risk!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
You should have listened to reason.
We shall overcome.
Retreat is not an option.
to the fray!
You won't survive me.
Go.
Do not hold back.
Kneel before me.
The light take you!
Endure this!
The goddess protects us. Magridium Turinos. Magridium Turinos.
Call me again if you need to.
Careful now.
This was simple enough.
Over there.
I will guide us.
I am the answer, but what is the question? An elf woman in a frayed robe turns her head to you and stares at you through the slits of a simple white mask. Then she holds out her hand and touches the ancient statue. The absence of an answer is an answer too. Hey, wait, hey, wait, where are you going? Spontaneous dematerialization isn't scientific. Nina touches the statue and suddenly freezes. Following her example, you put your hand on the statue, and the world around you ceases to exist. You are a lone grain of sand floating in the emptiness of the unknown. Your path has no beginning and no end. You are tiny and insignificant in comparison with the cosmos that surrounds you. But then something changes. The emptiness takes notice of you. It stares at you, measures and assesses you. Then a question comes, as simple and as deep as emptiness itself. Who are you? I am Kalalpala. The name he uttered, that seems so powerful and proud, rings through the emptiness. Then the silence comes, bleak and oppressive. The emptiness still awaits your answer. I am. Do you want to say your name? But what is it? Just a set of sounds you used to associate with yourself. You are Kalalpala. Who decided this is who you are? Your parents, yourself, someone else? A name is just a label you take voluntarily. What happens if you tear this label off? What hides behind the name of Kalalpala? Behold the truth, open yourself to knowledge, reveal yourself.
I am Nenio. Nenio.
You hear me? You voice from nowhere or whatever you are?
What's going on here? Nenio, is that you?
Nenio, is that you?
I am Nenio, the greatest scientist of the modern age, and you are my loyal follower. Why are you asking me such a pointless question?
You're a kitsune.
It appears your observation is correct. I am a kitsune. If my hypothesis is correct, and the probability of that is close to 100%, I have always been a kitsune, but at some point I decided to forget that piece of knowledge. Following this line of reasoning, it would seem the fact of my membership of a certain race just doesn't seem relevant to me. Also, there is a more important question. Why did my true identity reveal itself in this precise moment?
How could you forget you were a kitsune?
This question is irrelevant in the current situation. If you wish, you can ask me about it later. If you believe that I've been keeping my true identity a secret on purpose, you are mistaken. I have no interest in your causes, your battles, or your secrets, if you have any. All I need from you is your assistance with my experiments. And with this.
I have no words. Can I just stand here silently and look like I'm thinking something smart?
Anyway, what was that? I found myself in emptiness and the boy asked me a question.
I suppose it was a trap that yanked our minds out of our plane and temporarily transferred us to another one. I wish I knew which plane. By the way, did you know that the most efficient way to disarm a corridor's worth of magical traps is with the help of a scientist who has been told that the formula for an elixir of the ancient races lies hidden at the end of said booby-trapped corridor?
The voice, who do you think it was?
I haven't the slightest idea. But it is most definitely an extremely wise entity. Besides, the entity displayed no aggressive tendencies, which gives us hope that it can be reasoned with. The voice in the emptiness asked me, and judging by your reaction, you too, who I am. And merely stating my name failed to satisfy it. The trap then forced me to assume my true form, which I had completely forgotten about. I suppose this trap wasn't a trap per se. It rather was a closed portal leading to some hidden place that can easily unveil secrets and reveal the truth. The one who spoke to us seemed to solve me like a riddle, in an instant, just by looking at me. I would like to meet this entity. Can you imagine which secrets it can unravel? I want to speak to it, and you, my follower, must help me. But how can you get there? If there is a door, there must be a way to open it. If there's a lock, there must be a key to it. There is an inscription here, right on the statue. I am the void and the emptiness. I am the starting point. I am infinite. Tear my mask off and let it fall at my feet. I don't understand this at all. How thrilling!
Why are you so sure that the unknown entity behind this mysterious portals was even want to talk to us?
I'm not sure at all, but we must try. We simply must. Getting there and talking with this entity will be the greatest of my experiments. No exaggeration.
A portal that leads to unknown could be dangerous.
The world wound is dangerous. Walking under a hanging icicle is dangerous. Even choking on a chunk of badly chewed food can lead to a fatal outcome after all. Living is dangerous. But what is danger compared to knowledge?
Sounds like a riddle.
It does. It really does. I love riddles and puzzles.
So how do we solve
Each of
this?
them is inscribed with a riddle, and each demands that something be placed at its feet. I guess we need some items that represent the answers to these riddles. But don't ask me where we should look for them.
Maybe we should ask one of the gazes.
I don't think they can help us. Looks like all they can do is mumble their mantra about questions and answers.
Looks like we can't do anything here.
With deepest regret, I have to admit that you are right. It's highly unlikely that we'll be able to solve this riddle right here and now. We'll have to temporarily withdraw so we can return when we're armed and ready. I'm always open to ideas.
Did we find trouble? No, they did. Make every strike count.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Strike as one!
This one's mine.
Eternal Rose, I call upon you!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
I'll remove this obstacle.
Attack!
Press the attack!
Come to my camp if you want to talk. I have much to share with your friend. True, out to the back of the north is a map of cross line marking a spot.
Without advantage. We march ahead. path leads on.
It is interesting how differently people understand the term scum. It's not that it's in that category I would include those who spend their lives in idleness, like plants capable only of drawing moisture from the soil and bathing in the ray of the sun. Why did you take such a circus route to just call me a useless piece of rubbish? I have no qualms about calling you an uptight, malicious autonomon who is potentially avoiding acknowledging his own hubris, so please do not hold back on my account. Danger and distress rest heavily upon the scales, the measured soaring of the perilous march to Dresden. The army moves steadily along the bank of the West Salon, scared with canyons and ravines. Suddenly a group of scouts returns. Anivia, the leader of the group, makes two urgent signs to the soldiers. Wait and quiet. She dashes through the ranks to the commander, who awaits her report. Quite in trouble, she whispers. The road ahead is split by a canyon. To get to Dresden, we'll have to go down and then up the other side, but the canyon is swarming with foul creatures. Vescovals, a real pain in the neck. They won't shy away from our soldier weapons, and they already managed to gobble someone up. Look like a caravan of refugees from Canabris that lost its way. No one has ever reported Vescovals so far from the center of the war wound. Where did they come from? Anivia bites lip. They still haven't noticed us, but that won't hold true long. Maybe if we retreat quietly, the commander makes a sign for her to stop. Find out what else is known about the enemy. Those nasty little critters, they can ruin your gear and drive you nuts with their buzzing, Anivia says in a rush. They got a queen, the mother of the whole swarm. She's a right horror, but if we kill her, the bulk of the swarm will scatter and we'll take care of the rest of them somehow. After hearing her scout report, the commander prepares to convene a council to determine the plan of action. The commander and her companions convene a field council. The army cannot march around the obstacle, for there is no other road. Retreat is far too risky. Should the swarm notice the army and catch it out in the open, no one will survive. None utters the word trap, but fear hangs in the air. A swarm of ominous beasts just happens to be in the army's path. Someone has arranged this for their own nefarious ends. Rustling, grating, squeaking, humming. Everyone hears the voice of a swarm through the sky before the army remains clear for now. How long until it's darkened by the flying spawns of the abyss? An idea, a decision, straight and sharp like a soldier's sword, appears in the mind. The Crusader Council grows grim. One unit must act as live bait to lure the swarm out of the canyon and clear the path to the Vaskova Queen. The commander will rush the monster, killing her quickly. Before the swarm decimates the army, they will get but one chance. A dark question looms. Who will lead the faithful squad and the consumed as bait? In moments of existence stress, one often says one thing while meaning quite the other. These hidden words often reveal many of Kiri's think, and what do we see here? Irabeth nobly states, I'm an officer, best suited for the mission. But in truth she means, I cannot burden another with my responsibility. Kalal Pala, send me, Nura. The historian emerges with an unexpected suggestion from behind the commander's back. This is just the sort of situation where ingenuity and knowledge of the enemy will be more useful than swords and armor. While she speaks, she thinks, I need to prove myself. The queen has yet to disclose her presence and watches quietly from the distance. The commander thinks that she should. Look into the faces of your companions. The Hell Knight Reacher steps forward. My people will fight to the last, even as the swarms stir through our armor and strips the flesh from our bones. But these motives are plain. My superiority over the Crusaders will not permit me to cower behind them. I've eaten so many bugs in my life, it's only fair to give them a chance at revenge. The Mogul Lam hides his fear in plain sight. I'm a dead man walking already, a life such as mine is worthless. Silently he begs for more. Sacrifice me, or give me a chance to prove myself. The ones who distract the swarm will need a healer. Social is the only one who speaks plainly. A healer might bring a few through the Vaskovas alive. The rest of the council remains silent, and the silence is filled by a chorus of there are others better suited, and the commander needs me alive. Does the commander hear these unspoken words? Where will they lead to decide? The faithful troops will be led by Sosia. The commander and her party disappear among the rocks, preparing to slip down into the canyon when the swarm is distracted by the bait. A tight-lipped Anivia shows me the way. Behind them, the final preparations are being made. Social eye grows cloudy for a moment. There are few creatures as abominable for a follower of Shielin and Vaskovas, devourers of flesh and destroyers of matter. This trial will not be easy. The soldiers tread fearfully down the road towards the dark edge of the canyon ahead. The rift that yawns open before them whispers, rasps, rattles in thousands upon thousands of voices. Vaskovas gathers below, but the sky is open above them, and the flying creature might raise up and attack at any moment. The soldiers soon find the first body, the mangled corpse of a refugee from Canabres. A few struggling Vaskovas wriggle inside the dead man's grasping chest, tiny larvae in greenish shell, all shuffling legs and hinging jaws. They don't seem menacing at all. But then the rasping noise stops for a moment, and a high vibrating note pierces the air with new force. A blue of blackish green clouds raises above the canyon. The swarm has taken a bait. The time to act has come. The leader of this faithful squad shouts as they shot. Hold position and fight for the soldier's life. Standing in the middle of the formation of soldiers, Social utters a prayer to Shielin. From the outside, it would appear that the cloud of Vaskovas will in a moment fall from the above and destroy the forces utterly. Hundreds of spawn of the abyss gnaw at bodies and armor, destroying as they consume, but the cleric powers flows forth in waves, healing the wounds of his comrades. As his understanding who he is to blame for the unexpected resilience, the spawn covers Social like a living carpet. The servant of Social trembles, but does not move or hold his prayers. The soldiers looks on with awe as though they are witnessing a holy miracle. Temporary success holds no true hope for the faithful troop. Their foe is no great beast, but a million ravenous creatures, bringing with them the eternal hunger of the abyss. To fight them was to cry upon the wind. The only hope was to rely on the commander and the hope that she was preparing to slay the Swamp Queen. What was happening down in the canyon at this very moment?
I always did what was right. Therefore, I became righteous. Does it mean whatever I do now becomes right because I am righteous?
A bright future awaits us.
I will not falter.
Rules are made to be broken. Aeon. Aeon.
I will see this through.
I will help where I can.
Adayana.
Should we proceed? I'm all ears.
Aeon.
You require my unbiased opinion?
Oh, the waiting's never fun.
Spots of light and shadow dance along the walls of the canyon. High above your head, a swarm gathers dark and rain clouds. There are so many Vascovas that they block out the sun. Luckily, you escape the attention of the swarm, which is focused upon the troops you're using to bait, for now at least. With a tired gesture, Anivia wipes the sweat and dust from her forehead, the anxiety in her eyes. Commander, the beast we came for is on the other end of the main corridor. There's a lot of burrows and plenty of beasts in them, but you better not dwell too deep. Our people won't hold out long enough for us to clear the whole area. On the other hand, I saw the bodies of some poor caravanners down one side of the hall. They have some valuable stuff in them. The bugs will eat anything we don't grab. They can't tell the difference between flesh and steel. Będziemy jeszcze find out where the beasts are coming from. I'm not sure, but there are clear signs of ritual crosses the Queen's bark layer, and they are fresh. Maybe somebody summoned the scam especially for us. The demon Phil figured out that we are never going to let Canabras go. Too bad we don't have the magic specialists who could figure out what those runes mean. The world's magic specialists bring Nina out of her ravine. What? I'm specialist? I'll get to the bottom of this. What happened? Can you tell me anything useful about the monster? I've never fought this before, so I don't know much. She's a nasty beast. She spits acid and summons her spawn from all around the area. One more thing. When I tried to get closer, I started feeling sick as a dog. I guess like a demon. She knows how to get inside your head. Well, great. Huge hungers had spinning acid-spitting bugs, and I thought the Crusaders were all about pretty armor and a nasty ration, and something saving beautiful maidens in distress from dumb demons. Oh, how interesting. Sounds like Vascovar, Queen. An exceedingly rare creature, I must say. I'm looking forward to an encounter to conduct the experiment. The world must know what is more dangerous, mandibles snapping shut, or one's hand of acid eating away at one's skin. Sometimes I wonder how you are still alive. I'd be happy to help you with your experiments. I dunk you in acid or shove you into mandibles. You won't have to ask me twice. Good luck, I'm right behind you, covering your back. I'll catch up with your time with the Queen.
Oh, skip the pleasantries.
Let us not hesitate.
Smile. The world's not ending just yet.
Ona Adayana. Aborane sentes. Aborane sentes.
They will break against our resolve.
Attack!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Out of my sight!
You should have listened to reason.
We shall overcome!
Close ranks. You won't survive me. I
back!
Endure this! Retreat is not an option!
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Precision and grace.
Strike as one!
Make every strike count!
Into the fray!
Mind over muscle!
I'll make short work of this.
Attack! We shall overcome.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. Kneel before me.
The light, take you!
You're irrelevant.
Do not hold back. We march ahead.
A success worthy of praise.
Demonic box slime poisons only to everything alive, but also to the land itself. From the canyon is split by the bottom of the canyon is split by a narrow crevice, but once strides across to its widest, it's easy enough to jump over, or in places even step across. The obstacle doesn't seem a problem or even particularly notable, but as you draw closer you hear a terrible droning sound coming from the crevice. It seems to be howling, as if it's alive. Look at the crevice. You stare into the darkness of the void, trying to make out where the strange sound is coming from. Not all at once, but your eyes picking up the contours of the body in the darkness. Someone small, perhaps a gnome, a halfling or a child, rolled up in the bill, and at the bottom of the chasm under the stone ledge. He's crouched down, his head to his knees, and he's hugging his legs tightly. It appears to be one of the caravan is caught by the swarm. He's crying aloud, one continuous stone is strengthened as it echoes through the crevice, building into something truly haunting. And howl and a wolf, it would seem. Try to help for him to get out. Not without effort, you manage to climb down to the bottom of the crevice tire, and the halfling with a rope pulls him up. He doesn't resist, but his little head either dangling helplessly like a puppet. The Vaskovas inhabiting his eye socket seems to have eaten the film, and you easily pull them out and crush them. The victim sits on the ground and continues to cry, and the sounds begin attracting unwanted attention. You hear a mumbling, disturbing humming of disturbed face covers above. A mass of them separates from the main swarm and flies towards you.
Battle formation. You won't survive me.
Out of my sight!
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
It's mine. Endure this!
The halfling you pull from the crevice didn't move at all as you fought the onslaught of the Vaskovars. He's still lying on the floor crying. Heal him. I'll heal you and come back for you later. Magic can heal the calm wounds, but not his mind. For now, there is nothing more you can do for him. He seems scarcely aware of your help, and his crying and shrieking continues. A moment later, you hear another scream from overhead, leaning precautiously over the ledge of the crevice above you. One of your men falls to the bottom and dies upon the rock. The other soldiers, now serving as a bait, are up. They desperately fight for their life and yours.
Our path leads on. I stand ready.
We will win this war.
Speak with your actions, not your words. Are we in trouble yet?
Aeon.
Always be ready for the worst.
Hmm? Oh, yes, what?
Missed me already.
Amoran Sentes. Amoran Sentes. Amoran Sentes. Unimosi Travisi. Ona Adayana. Unimosi Travisi. Magritium Turinos.
I am your judge, and soon, your executioner.
Stagioni Savitu.
Strike as one.
Make every strike count.
Into the fray!
Amorone Sentes.
Press the attack!
Attack!
Admission her last shriek, the Swarm Queen slumps to the ground. Immediately, as if by magic, the distant sounds of battle begin to subside. Several small beasts sit on the mother's body, sinking their mandible into it. The canyon draws in waves of scent as sweet as of romic within the hint of bite, like the crackle in the air before the storm. I can't breathe. I need some fresh air. Get me out of this disgusting hole. Agreed, mind you. I've had cause to see the holes a good deal more disgusting than this in my time. Deidre laughed suggestively, but there were few and far between. Sierra looked at her in confusion and a second later burst into giggles. Have the fumes gone to your head, Count? To look at you, cracking jokes like the worst kind of bard. Lan looks askance at the Queen's carcass. The Mongols in the caves and the Canabres could eat that, I guess. And Navy approaches the Queen's body and grins. That's it, you filth. No more flying. It's good we got rid of her without suffering more losses. Just a little longer and we have been forced to bury a lot of fighters in this cursed land. Suddenly Anivia stops, her nostrils flare up and her eyes scan the floor and the walls of the canyon. She squats, pokes at some lumps of slimy substance, lifts some of the load more closely, smells them and cringes. You smell is too, right? How suspicious familiar stink. Anivia rubs a ball of greasy slime in her hand. I bet my life that Yogi had this nasty stench when we were entering the canyon. I saw the queen bug spraying it around to summon her spawn to her. By the way, did you know that smells are extremely effective in attracting attention not only of the insect world, for example? A tavern keeper in Canabres can for 10 minutes purposely and dodgily search for rotten fish that turns out to be in the pocket of his popcorn. Let's see if we can find a source of the smell among my equipment. You and Anivia search through your things and quickly find the source of the smell. Think handkerchiefs. Looks like it's been soaked in something like the Swarm's Queen slime. I'll be damned, when the Queen was spraying the sweat-smelling goop around, the swarm flew to it like flies to the charm. The tuned-up bodies of the caravan smell like the stew I checked. Commander, I think some rat planted his handkerchief on you to ensure that the Vascovars will find you. So there's a traitor in Vendiv camp, nothing new there. Looks like I have enemies in Mendev, and someone has decided to get rid of me. True, nobody likes upstarts. If you knew what Irbeth allies hissed behind her back when she was appointed head of the Girl Watch, you only miss spits. Anyway, we need to keep an eyes open. That handkerchief could have been planted here by magic, but take it from the professional paranoiac. I feel we've got a rat in our camp. In Canabriv we squatted the cultists time and time again, but they were like moggots in the dead's hog. Some could have infiltrated our forces too. We have to keep our eyes open and our guard up. It's time we got back to our people. I say we destroy the queen's body. I've heard the little bug who eats the flesh of the mothers can be reborn as the swarm queens themselves. That's kind of last thing we need, right? Fine, get rid of the body's beast. Great. Cleaning up after a fight is just like that, what like? We start here and little by little, well, clean up the entire world once. Anivia, Commander, what a relief, you're alive. I saw the swarm begin to thin and ran to you. Immediately she pauses to catch a breath. Sasha wipes the sweat from his brow. My squad handled the assignment. I healed everyone I could, but my warriors have had quite a fright. It's not very pleasant to be eaten alive, then healed, then eaten and healed again. I knew I could rely on you. What happened up there can't be described in words, but you were the only one who carried the day, Kalapala. Luckily our losses are not as great as we feared. Not many are even wounded, but if you'd been a moment later, I'm afraid to imagine what might have happened to us. Unfortunately, the insect acid ruined what was left on the caravan. Of course, I sympathize with those who perished, but we could have used the gear. How did this caravan even come to be here? This is no place for civilians. They lost their lives for nothing, and they didn't even have anything useful behind. My duty is to lead my people to victory. I would not abandon my duty for the treasures of dead caravanners. What matters is that everything's over and we won. What are we going to do now? Since you are here, please take a look around. I found some painted runes and the traces of something that seems to be like a ritual. We need to figure out what is this. Ha! Easily done. Nira leans over the magic symbols painted on the stone. I'm not mage unfortunately, but I'm the habit of thoroughly documenting all description of rituals and symbols from magic books, especially demonic ones. Someone's very recently opened a portal to the abyss here and summoned someone. It's not difficult to figure out what they summoned. He's lying dead right now. I can guess who carried out this ritual. Handwriting is unique even when it comes to the runes. I examined the Grey Garrison after the success documenting everything I found for Queen Galfrey, and I'm sure that the hand that drew the runic circles, the same in both instances, is the work of some spellcaster. Clever to set up a trap and exhausting us instead of find us openly. We shouldn't be afraid of demons. We live through this little trap, didn't we? We'll overcome the next one too. We just need to keep forging ahead. Well, since we finished off the swarms and we know someone is giving us trouble, I suggest we get out of here. I'm done with bugs.
Just think about the contribution you could make to society, mongrel boy. So please set aside your emotions and consider my proposal rationally.
No. No! Oh, and did I mention? No! I do not give you permission to dissect my body after my death in the interests of science.
After picking up his belongings after his night's camping, Social finds a place to sit and pulls out a traveling sketchbook and charcoal pencil. Stealing glances in your direction, he draws on the small page with a bold, sprawling strokes, his expression shifting between smiling and frowning. Catch his eye and strike a dramatic pose. The cleric laughs loudly. Thank you, but please don't. Just keep doing what you were doing. I'm trying to capture your natural movement. May I see? The cleric lowers his eyes in embarrassment. There's nothing to look at it yet. There's even a draft. More of a series of random sketches. The slope of your neck, the curve of your lips, your gestures. It's not much to look at, but it will be useful if I start working on a real portrait. Yeah, we're sketching. Why? The world around us is so unstable, especially now during this war. A friend's smile, the curve of a tree, and the glow of a fire. If we do not preserve them, the rare moments of beauty we will have will be lost in the flow of time. Don't you ask your own eyes and memory? And you do trust them? Memory is deceptive. Try to remember something after a year, maybe even after a day, and what you'll recall will be different dramatically from what you saw in a moment. But it's not just a matter of memory. Lost in thought, the cleric fiddles with the pencil. You can't see the full picture with your eyes alone. Drawing allows me to see things from a different angle. Sometimes I'll find new meaning even in the most mundane things. Are you going to paint my portrait? Yes, but not just yours. I draw everything I see. Our companions, our soldiers, sometimes even our enemies. These places we visited, my dreams, my thoughts. Every aspect of a crazy war. I want to capture everything that happens here, both the beautiful and the nightmarish. But sometimes I draw you too. You are a puzzle yet to be solved, a miracle that came from nowhere and turned the tide of the hopeless war. Who is the commander of the Fifth Crusade? Who is she truly? It's difficult to see the truth in a single glance, but perhaps I will better understand you after I capture your image on paper. Well, I won't bother you anymore.